Hello there, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for always supporting me. If you're new here, you're welcome. Kindly please stay tuned as I take you through how to make this lovely blouse design, and it is also profitable for business. If you want to do your ready to wear, if you haven't subscribed, kindly please do so. Subscribe, like, comment below, and also turn your notification bell on to get to see more videos like this. So this is the pattern. Already drafted out the bodies for this tutorial. You can see I went down from the neckline, from the pattern paper downwards before outlining the drafting. So here are just the basic lines for the bodies I'll be using for this. So this now will stand as the back and the front. So just pay attention as I take you through. So this is the armhole. You can see I already sketched out the armhole, and here is the chest line. So on the chest line, I'll be outlining the bust measurement, dividing it into 4. Whatever you get, you outline it. Remember this pattern, you'll be needing a bit of excess measurements, which is going to serve as the overlapping on the front bodies. So just pay attention on the waistline as well. I'll just be adding extra 1 inches to the actual measurement on all sides. So you take your underbust measurement as well, and then you add excess of 1 inches on the bust, on the bodies for the front. This is the front I am making now. So here is the upper hip line. Whatever you get there, you outline it. So includes your sewing allowance. So I'll just be taking out those darts now. Those excess, and also the sewing allowance for this tutorial. So that's all I'll just be outlining now. I'll take the pattern master now, and then I'll outline from the bust line downwards to the hip curve. So what you do, you just make sure you curve it properly using your pattern master, and then I'll go up by 1.5 inches on the side. You can see the way I'm connecting it as well with the pattern master. So after doing that, the next thing I will do now is drafting out where the split of the overlapping will be, which is going to be either the left or the right hand side, depending on your preference, but I will be using the left hand side of this for this tutorial. So what all you need to do is from the actual measurement, remember this is allowance here, we have allowance of 1.5 inches, so you will not include that allowance, sewing allowance. All you just need to do is taking it from the actual bust measurements. I hope you understand what I am explaining here too. So now I'll just go in by 5 to 6 inches. So I'll just be using 5 inches, and then I will add extra 1.5 inches. Remember I said it will be overlapped, and this is why you need allowance. You need extra allowance of 1 inches thereabout on your pattern. So on this shoulder slope, I'll go in by 1/4 inch. I already have 4.5 inches on the shoulder slope after removing the neck width from it, and I'll connect it straight down to this line, to where I outline on the chest line, just to form our neckline. Remember I said this pattern is just to sketch out the actual design we are drafting. So this is where you need to concentrate more on. So it is from this center part you have to design it to make sure it is accurate. You understand? So I'm just trying to get where I'll put the new neckline. For the old one, I have for the bodies, I already have 3 inches for the neck depth. You can see that. So I'll just be adding some inches. I wouldn't want my bust to be, my boobs to be, my cleavage to show like that. So I'll just be going with 5 inches. So I'll just add extra 2 inches to the initial 3 inches. If you want, you can go down than that. So this is just a guide anyway. I might be going down to 6 inches thereabouts later on, but I'm okay with this for now. For this pattern drafting, you don't need that because this we are doing here now is a dart manipulation kind of drafting. So you want to know where the down part slits we start from and how you want it to be wide. So I want mine to just be a bit wide, like 2 inches wide, making it 4 inches. So whatever your wideness is, you have to go down from your waist, from your actual waistline downwards to where your slit will be beginning. So the first thing I will do is outlining all this excess sewing allowance. You can start from the you can start your curve, which is from the under bust. You can see the way I'm outlining it. You can start it from there, or you either start it from the actual waistline. So I'll just be sketching out 2 lines. So depend on where you want your curve to begin from, which is the waist curvy. You understand me? So that's why I'm doing all this. So what I will need is the down waistline. I'll be going with the down waistline, so you can go with the under bust waistline if you don't have a curve, like if you don't have a bigger hip, you can actually go in from the under bust. So I'll divide this into two again, and then I'll add extra half of an inch on the shoulder line. So you can see the way I'm doing it. So this is me here. I'm dividing this 1.5 inches into two. You can see the way I'm doing it here. So I will either be going with this overlap. The bigger side will be covering the other side. So this is why you have to put sewing allowance of extra 1 inches to it. I don't know if you get what I am saying now, but just pay attention and see the end result of what I am trying to achieve. So you can see the way I'm sketching it. Can you see that? So this is why I have to divide it. I have to put half of an inch in place. So by the time you are done sewing it, you will have the the design you're looking for. So I'll go in here by 2.5 inches, and then I'll connect it to it. You can see the way that is very easy. So you go down from the actual waistline, you go down by 3 inches, and then you curve where you want the slit to be from that end. So now I'll just be cutting out the neck, the actual neckline, which is the 3 inches, and then I'll cut out all the outlines I've made for this tutorial from the pattern, so I can slit it out. I can slit out the design of this pattern. So that's all I'm doing now. I'm going to be placing this pattern now on a fabric which is going to stand as the back panel for this tutorial. So I'm just going to be sketching out with my tailor's chalk how I want it to be. And remember, I removed from the side of the front bodies, I removed 1.5 inches. Why? Is because our back bodice is always shorter by the waistline, is what I'm referring to now, by 1.5 to 2 inches. So I'll then reduce it on the center back. Remember, the bodice for the front, I only remove 1.5 from the sides. So I will transfer it to the center part of the back so it is straight. The back bodice will be straight on the down part, while the front bodice will be longer on the center parts for the front, because of our busts and the waist measurement is not really accurate with the back. So I'll just cut out everything, and note I already cut out the sewing allowance for the shoulder, also to join the shoulder together, as you can see on the pattern paper, and also on the sides I already added the sewing allowance before doing all of this. So that's all about the pattern for the back. You can see the sides are accurate, just the back, the center is not really accurate. So that's all about for the back panel. So I'll go back now in drafting this front bodies, as you can see. So now we're going back to this side of the drafting, which is the opening where we want the overlapping to be. Now on this area here, which is the slant part, I'll be adding extra half of an inch, and then I'll just connect it straight down to the waist line where the opening will start from. But whatever you are extending, make sure you extend it to the shoulder line as well, so you don't make any mistake while cutting it on your fabric. So I'll add half of an inch here, and then I'll also do likewise to the shoulder line, then I'll connect it. Now after connecting it, the next thing, I'll flip it open like so, and then I'll cut out the drafting. What you can see, this is the side whereby you will be cutting it out, so you just be needing the other down part to cut out the slits later on for the waist, from the waistline downwards to the hip. So I'll be working on this neckline now. So I'll go down again by some inches, which is 1 inches from this end here, so I don't, make any mistake. That was the reason why I didn't go down more than 5 inches initially. So you can also leave it this way after slanting it if you're good, but I wouldn't want it to be at the top of my neckline crumping me, so I just needed to add extra 1 inches or half of an inch to this neck depth for the sides. So I'll do that now, and then I'll outline it using my pattern master to curve it down. So whatever you're doing, just make sure you're doing it together. You're not splitting it, you're doing it together, so you don't make any mistake afterwards you've cut it. So you can see the way I'm outlining it. I'm outlining both together, so you know where you're starting from at the end of the day, because you're still going to be notching it on your fabric like so. So you see that. So I'm just cutting only this side. You can see where I'm cutting just this side. That is why I said I have to split it before going downwards. You can see that it is as easy as that. So you can see the other part remains the way it is, while I went down by another 1 inches. So that's all about the sketching part. So what I will do now, I will be adding extra 1 inches to this side, and also extra 1 inches. You can also leave this side like so, but I'll be adding extra 1 inches to the bigger side of this tutorial. So I'll come back and show you all how it is. So can you see, after cutting it out, this is how it looks like. You can see the way I'm placing it on each other, but I won't be going with this method. If you like, you can go in with this method. I want it to be snatched, so I will just be using extra 1 inches on one part, which is going to be for the bigger part of this tutorial, so it is overlaid afterwards. So I'll trim out this 1 inches excess on the smaller parts. So just make sure you notch wherever your opening will be starting from the top of the shoulder line. You can see the way it is. So if you're finding it difficult to understand, you can actually go with this method, which is the 1 inches on each side, so you know where to start from. So I am just leaving some. You can see the way it is. The pugging is still there where the notch is, so that's where I will know I'm starting my the opening from. So you can see I will overlay it there. Now you can see why I'm doing this is so I can have a very sharp V on the waist side of this blouse. So you can see how the V comes out properly, and I'm also using a bias for this tutorial, so I'll be turning it all round with bias. Includes the neckline and also the splitted parts, the overlaid part. So that is why I'm actually going for this. You can see the way it is, so I'll just overlay it like so. You can see where that is stopping, so you can see how it is. So that's just all about the drafting. So what I will do now is just securing it down. You can actually secure this down just with your machine afterwards, after the bias, and then you decide to put zip at the side of your blouse, or you go in with your hook and eyes. So I'll be using hook and eyes as the button for this. I won't be putting any buttonhole, which is the reason why I'm not really using the 1 inches on the other side. So I'm just going to be laying it overlapping, and also be adding hook and eyes to hook it down, and then I will be putting a designing button on the outside part of it, so it is beautiful. So that's all about the drafting part. If you haven't subscribed so far to this channel, kindly do so, and if you enjoy it, don't skip sharing it. Just click on the share button and share it to anyone you think needs to see this tutorial. So like it, comment under this video and tell me what you feel about this. So I'll just be going to the sewing machine. I will firstly join the shoulder lines together, and again I'll be adding sleeve to this tutorial. I'll be adding sleeve to my home blouse, so it looks more elegant. So I will join this, but before joining this together, I remember one shoulder line is shorter than the other one, and you don't want it to look, somehow crumping. So before cutting out the shoulder line, you need to know where you're cutting your slant from. Is either is the is either the left or the right. So you make sure you know your left and right before cutting out the shoulder for the back, which is the shorter side of the shoulder line. So this is the bias tape. I will just be joining all the straps together. This is 1.5 inches. By the time I'm done, it will be half of an inch. So I'll just use that to turn everything together, and then I'll come and show you all the end results of this tutorial, guys. So here is the sleeve, and this is a very beautiful lace I'll be using for the sleeve. If you don't already know how to cut a sleeve, I have so many tutorial about sleeve cutting on my channel, both long and short. So this is all about the cutting of this tutorial. If you enjoy this, kindly give it a thumbs up, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so to get notified when I upload new video. You can see how beautiful this is looking, how elegant. I received so many compliments from this blouse. So tell me if you would like to make it for your business or for just wearing it. Bye until I see you again in the next one.